when somebody says, I don't like this, isn't there somebody behind knowing, seeing this person say, I don't like this?
Yeah.
Who said, I don't like this? How dare she speak to me like this? Who's talking? It is
The ego.
It is nothing but an I thought. Ego is not really an entity, separate entity inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
It is nothing but the activity of thinking, and that thought that starts with an I is the ego. When you're sitting alone at home, kids are at school, husband is at work, you're just by yourself, there is no major ego there. Even when no thoughts of others are there, you are very much quiet, at peace. This I comes when there is a sort of you. You see that?
Yeah.
That I am doing this, that sense of I-ness, is only a false sense, does not really exist.
But there is also a lot of heaviness to this I sense. And I feel like it is just making me go round and round and really not going anywhere.
It does its job well.
Yes. But then when I was doing the practice of this open eye Advaita meditation, I realized that the thoughts are still going on. Everything is that whole prapanch is going on, but I didn't feel anything. Like as if
I'm
it's
untouched.
not me.
Yeah, it doesn't touch me.
It's not mine. Yes.
Yes.
My problem is that I can do that when I'm alone, but when there is another company, somebody else with me,
yes,
I really get lost.
Why? I just told you the reason. Tell me why.
That ego comes up.
The ego came up in the middle, in between the knower and the other person. Got it? You have to recognize it. It's a very subtle skill now we work on recognizing. See, this ego came up only when this person entered the room. Just 2 minutes ago, this ego was not there and I was practicing. The knower was knowing this empty room. The knower was very aware. I was shining in this light of knowingness. I am knowingness. And suddenly somebody else came up and up comes this I. Now I have to recognize it doesn't have a real existence of its own. That's it. That itself is like poking a pin into the balloon. It'll just deflate and go away. Yeah. The recognition that this I really does not exist. It is just a thought that came up right now. Yes. And thinking is not different than knowing. Immediately you will automatically, at this point, when you know that thinking, this thought, is not different from knowing, you will slip back, you will sink back into awareness.
But then something has to remind this knowingness in me. And so who is doing that job, reminding, hey, come back, this is not you.
Yeah, it doesn't happen in words the way we are talking,
yeah,
really.
It's really difficult to put right now, but like,
yeah,
like while I'm watching the ego come up or the thought come up, there is something that has to remember, okay, no, that is not me.
It is the knower only, na? The knower always knew. The knower was always there in the background. You were just ignoring the knower. You had given a lot of power to the ego and it created all the drama and all the scenery. And the scenery was so humongous, overwhelming that it consumed you totally. You were not looking at the chota mota, small little thing sitting at the background, the knower. It was always there. Now that I know that I am not this drama and the scene created by the ego, I am this knower. What are you doing? You're taking away life away from this and infusing it here.
It actually felt like that, as if something was rising, like, a sheet. There's a ghost batata in the movie, right? It's rising, but all of a sudden when the attention goes away from that, it just like falls off.
Yes.
So, yes, but I feel like I need to maybe practice more, but somehow I feel like even the effort does not work here. There is some automatic process that happens rather than I cannot say my effort it's useless because it's not working that.
Yes, you're right. It is like a sinking. It's like a sinking into awareness is sinking back into awareness. Recognize that. The knowingness is sinking back into knowingness. It automatically happens. It's like it was giving its energy to something that it thought was real. And now it's realized, no, it's not real, it does not exist. So it's the sinking back of the awareness or knowingness. For example, if you are in the desert and you see a mirage, you feel there is water. When you start walking closer to it in that expectation, I'm going to get water, I'm going to get water, and then you come closer and you realize, oh, it's not there. There is not much effort involved in realizing it doesn't exist and to stop thinking about it as water. Yeah, it's just immediate. It's a knowingness. Do you get it? So sensing, feeling, thinking is all knowingness. These are labels of knowingness.
So when I was doing the one of the class in the Ramana session, when Ramana in that book it says, when you are trying to find the ego, it's just not there. And I have practiced it, and it works for me. It's amazing. But then why do I have to keep doing it? Why can't it just stay?
That's because of the amount of time, whatever 30, 40, 50 years of our lives, we have practiced that there is an ego, there is an ego, there is an ego. There's a Hindi saying, no, झूठ को बार बार repeat करो तो सच लगने लगता है. Yeah, the more you repeat lies, it seems like it's the truth. That's what has happened. We have said it so many times to ourselves that we have believed that it exists. We have a very strong conviction that that mirage in the desert is not a mirage and there is real water. Suddenly you're waking up after 30, 40, 50 years of doing this practice and realizing, no, it's a mirage. It is not real water. Yes, but the mind has a habit pattern of 40 years. Yes, it's going to repeat what it learned. Yes, so it takes some time, even for a child. If you've taught him some poem and he's misunderstood a line in the poem and mispronounced it, to correct it, it takes so many repetitions, and then finally at the end he starts saying it correctly. The same thing we have to do with the mind. A few repetitions. Just a reminder. It's not even really much. You have to just knowingly be the knowingness.